You're standing in the dark tunnel. It's 1950. You can hear the roar of the crowd, the massive anticipation of a global debut. You're watching a nation of millions qualify for the FIFA World Cup, only to never step onto the pitch. By default, every scheduled opponent withdraws. The path to Brazil is completely clear. The ticket is punched. The biggest stage in world football is literally waiting for them, yet the governing body decides against going. It's a decision that will echo through generations. But how did it come to this?
Open any football history book in India or talk to any fan in the streets of Kolkata, and you hit a ghost story. It's a legend passed down through generations, deeply embedded in the national consciousness. It's the ultimate question that has haunted Indian football circles for decades. Did India really skip the 1950 World Cup because FIFA refused to let them play barefoot?
This story became one of the most repeated myths in sports history. After a match, Indian captain Talamaran Au dropped a line that echoed globally. He said, "We play football in India, whereas you play bootball." The world absolutely ate it up. The international press ran with it. The image of India's barefoot warriors playing a pure, uncorrupted version of the beautiful game was romanticized across the globe. It was the perfect underdog narrative.
But the reality? The reality was far more damaging. The truth is, FIFA had no official rule in 1950 banning barefoot participation. Mandatory boot regulations only came years later. And get this, some Indian players were already wearing boots during the 1948 Olympics in London. They knew how to play in them, they had access to them. The boot story was nothing but a convenient shield.
So it wasn't about boots. It was a catastrophic failure of administrative vision. The All India Football Federation fundamentally undervalued the World Cup. They completely failed to understand the massive importance of the event on the global stage. They cited high travel costs, even though organizers in FIFA had actually agreed to bear a major part of the expenses. They claimed a lack of practice time and team selection issues. But above all, they valued the Olympics over the FIFA World Cup. They chose amateur prestige over professional evolution.
It's a tale of two realities. You have this romanticized myth of defiance, masking the cold, hard reality of administrative blunders and a severe lack of practice. It's a simple story that hid the deep structural issues that permanently altered the nation's trajectory. Instead of rubbing shoulders with the world's elite in Brazil, India stayed home. They cemented a culture where administrative priorities completely misaligned with the realities of modern football.
Section 1. First half, the Golden Era.
Because despite the 1950 disaster, we enter a time when India wasn't just participating, they were dominating. Look at this breathtaking, rapid ascent. 1950 brings World Cup qualification. 1956 sees them become Olympic semifinalists. 1962, they capture Asian Games gold. The world took notice. The Indian outfit played with such flair, such incredible technical grace, they were universally hailed as the Brazilians of Asia.
You are watching a golden age of legends. Hamid Khan, Telimiran O, Chuni Goswami, P.K. Banerjee, Tulsidas Balarai. They thrilled swelling crowds. They commanded respect from European heavyweights. They left an indelible mark on the world stage. Each generation was determined to outdo the other's achievements, playing a brand of football that was fearless, technically gifted, and fiercely proud.
4-2. Let that scoreline sink in for a second. December 1st, 1956, the Melbourne Olympics. India dismantled the hosts Australia in their own backyard, and it wasn't a fluke. It was a systematic, ruthless dismantling of a highly physical side by a technically superior Indian squad.
It all comes down to one player, one defining moment, Neville D'Souza. The teams are deadlocked at 2-2 in the opening half after Australia levels the score. The momentum is shifting. The crowd is absolutely roaring for the home side. D'Souza takes the pitch. He finds a rebound. He strikes. He scores again. A hat-trick. He becomes the first Asian ever to achieve this in the Olympics, propelling India to the semifinals and writing his name into pure immortality.
And then comes the emotional peak. 1962, the Jakarta Asian Games. A hostile political arena, an unfriendly atmosphere where the massive crowd is actively rooting against them. Yet the Indian team thrives under the pressure, under tactical visionary Syed Abdul Rahim, who introduced progressive attacking systems like the classic 4-2-4 formation way ahead of his time. India defeats South Korea 2-1 to win gold. They combine technical intelligence with fluid attacking play. They are the undeniable kings of Asia.
Section 2. Turning Point. The Vacuum of 1963. The whistle blows, the game stops, and we hit the single moment that changed absolutely everything. 1963, Syed Abdul Rahim passes away from cancer. His influence went far beyond just tactics on a chalkboard. He was the architect. He coached him in 1952, 1956, and 1960. He was the glue holding the entire ecosystem together. His death created a massive, unfillable leadership vacuum from which the system never truly recovered.
The Rahim era brought structured training, positional discipline, an identity of resilience. Post-1963 brought a steep, terrifying drop. While they still managed a silver in 1964 and a bronze in 1970, these results merely masked deeper structural rotting. Internal conflicts mounted, the talent pipeline weakened, the tactical innovation that defined Rahim's tenure completely evaporated, replaced by decades of stagnation.
Section 3. Second half. The modern struggle.
The game expands into a global behemoth. The rest of Asia adapts. India's system crumbles. Watch this desperate descent. Step 1, 1970, the bronze in Bangkok. It was the last significant international medal. Step 2, the dark years. India completely misses the 1990 and 1994 Asian Games due to internal conflicts and short-sighted administrative decisions. An entire generation loses crucial exposure. Step 3, 2002. The Asian Games transitions to an under-23 format. The shift is meant to encourage youth development, but for India, it exclusively exposes long-standing, fatal weaknesses in their grassroots pipeline.
The modern symptoms are glaringly obvious. Preparation becomes chaotic. In 2014, they struggle with basic logistics and match readiness. In 2018, they do not even participate because the Indian Olympic Association refuses to clear them. By 2022, they reach the knockouts, but the campaign is marred by poor preparation, last-minute squad changes, and vicious club versus country conflicts. Indian football becomes entirely reactive. Meanwhile, nations like Japan and South Korea built professional, multi-tiered structures and just vanish into the distance. And now we hit a new low. The 2026 Aichi Nagoya Asian Games are approaching. The Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports mandates that only teams ranked within the top 8 in Asia can participate. It is a brutal, uncompromising metric. India sits far outside that bracket in both continental and global rankings. The threat of total non-participation is glaringly real. The former kings of Asia are now fighting just for the right to show up.
Section 4. Verdict. Vision 2047.
So what does this mean for the Federation and the millions of fans desperately waiting for a revival? We look to the future, and the sheer scale of the ambition is staggering. The All India Football Federation unveils a massive strategic roadmap called Vision 2047. The target? To be among the top 4 in Asia by the country's centenary year of independence. To forge at least one iconic player with international stardom in both men's and women's football.
They are overhauling 11 core areas: governance, infrastructure, digital transformation, grassroots, coaching. They are completely restructuring the competition's pyramid. We're seeing a vibrant multi-tiered system being mapped out: the Indian Super League, I-League promotions, a mandate for a minimum of 50 standard football pitches per district, a state-of-the-art football park. It is a total ground-up ecosystem reset designed to drag the nation kicking and screaming back to the top.
But to truly arrive on a global football stage, it requires every individual and institution to embrace change. Change demands a fresh start, sure, but there is a harsh history to learn from. Vision 2047 is an incredible blueprint on paper, but execution is where generations of Indian football have previously gone to die.
The golden era proved the raw talent exists. The decades of decline proved the system was fundamentally broken. The blueprint is now on the table. It's a roadmap to finally realize the unfulfilled potential of 1 billion people. But how will history judge this moment?
If you felt the drama of this story, hit that like button. Share this explainer with any football fan who needs to know this history. Subscribe to Arena 360 for weekly cinematic deep dives into the beautiful game. And comment your take below on Vision 2047. Can India reclaim its Asian throne? Let us know. We read every single one.